Okay, as you may have seen my video last week or so when I talked about buying a travel trailer here instead of the van and my reasons for doing it. Well, today I'm going to do the tour that I promised I would do. So I do still have the van. I'll be towing with the van for now. It's a E350 Super Duty, the 1-ton cargo van, and the trailer is well within specs of what the van can tow, so no problem there. And eventually, yes, I can upgrade to something different, like a pickup or whatever, but for now, the van, I still have the van. I wanted to note too, I didn't really focus on the last video, but it's still built out as a camper van. It's still usable as a camper van, so if I want to make a short trip, I can do that. Matter of fact, when I went over to Idaho and western Wyoming last month in June, I took the van with me and left the trailer here so I could travel light and easy. So outside here is a pretty standard travel trailer. Not much remarkable on the outside. So the front window here is just glass. It has has the cover on it for safety when traveling. That opens up for light, but the front window doesn't open. But the rest of the windows all the way around do open, which is really nice. So when it's not 90-something degrees, I can just open the windows up and get some nice air going through. It has two roof vents too, which one of them is powered but doesn't work, and the other one's not powered, but that'll eventually get taken care of. So a pretty standard travel trailer. Outside, it is a Aerolite, which is an aluminum and fiberglass construction travel trailer, so it's very light. The dry weight on this thing is only 2,400 pounds, so again, well within what the van can do, and it'll be pretty easy to tow with just about anything. It's a lot lighter than many similar sized RVs, including brand new ones. And of course, outside storage, which is a treat after being in the van and not having that. There's accesses on both sides the front one here goes through part way on each side, and this back one here goes all the way through on both sides, along with down the side here. I'll show you around that, more of that inside. And has two 20-pound propane cylinders, and they're both stored inside here, so they're out of the elements. But that's about it for the outside. Like I said, pretty standard travel trailer outside, and I'll go ahead and take a look inside. I'll show you around. All right, so real quick before we start the tour here inside, I wanted to mention one more thing that I definitely forgot to talk about in the last video for the reasons why I decided to make the switch from van life to the travel trailer to RV life. And one of the big things that factored into it for me is grandchildren. I got a bunch of grandchildren, and with a van, they love the vans. I mean, they just love it. They love hanging out there and playing, but there's not really conducive to having them hang out for a while because it was small in space. And definitely, camping over or spending the night wasn't really feasible. So with the travel trailer, I got more room. I have plenty of room for the grandkids to come visit. Two of them have been over already to check it out. And that's one of the things that factored in for me, was the kids be able to spend more time. And I don't think I've really heard anybody else in the YouTube ecosystem talk about this factor, but for me it is an issue, and I wanted to be able to have the kids come over, so that was one reason I wanted some more space. Another factor is with a van, I'll be using it as a tow vehicle now, but I will eventually replace it with a pickup or maybe a large SUV. And like right now, I have one extra seat. So only the grandkids who are old enough to sit in the front seat safely can come with me, and only one at a time. So like just yesterday, for example, I picked up a couple of my granddaughters. Their mom had to work late, so I picked them up. We went out for dinner, went to a really awesome park here locally and played for a while. Well, I had to borrow her brand new truck to do that. So it'd be nice to be able to have my own vehicle and not have to make special arrangements for transportation to be able to do anything with the kids. So even when I'm up here in the summer, the combination of not having space for them in the past to hang out for an extended period of time, and not having a way to safely transport them, or more than one at a time at the most, it does limit how much I can do with them. So really important to me to be able to do those things, and so that's one of the reasons too that I switched from just the van to the travel trailer, and eventually to a vehicle with more seats, so that I can do more things with grandkids. All right, that being said, I will show you around the trailer now. All right, so in the front is living area. It has the standard dinette This one has interesting legs on it, though, not the post like you often see. I did bring my own chair along for comfort working, and it has a horseshoe-shaped bench around the outside, which is, you know, plenty of seating for sure. And of course, but underneath the bench, all the way around on all three sides, is storage that can be accessed from outside or inside. Way more storage than I need for sure, but you know, it's nice to have it available. Apparently, once upon a time, there was a bunk bed up on top here. My son had removed that. I bought the trailer for my son and daughter-in-law, so they removed that. They didn't need it, and it was apparently not in very good shape. And that's just as well for me, because I wouldn't have used it either. So the curtains, I'll mention. I get a lot of comments on my curtains. My mother made these custom made them for the gray van I had, and then I took them with me to the white van because the windows were the same size. And lo and behold, they fit in here pretty well also, so I brought them along into here now. And the curtains that were in here were kind of threadbare and worn out, so those are in the van now, just to make a little bit of privacy at least. Anyways, okay, look back towards the rear of the trailer. There's you know, obviously a kitchen and a bathroom. The bedroom's in the corner there. Then around to the door here again. This is my walking stick that my youngest son, the one I bought the trailer from actually. So Jake made that for me when they lived down in Texas, and I was down there with Deborah visiting her cousins, Mike and Cindy, and so Jake had made it and brought it down to see us when we were there. So that's been on many hikes with me, and it rides along right there. Well, we'll be riding. Right now he's just sitting right there. We'll be riding once I start traveling again in the fall. All right, but looking at the kitchen area, as cabinets up top, which is nice. Again, a window behind the kitchen sink, and again, that one opens as well. And I didn't mention outside, but one thing I love about these windows is they all tip out. So even if it's raining, I can have the windows open. The spice rack here is actually just sitting there right now. It's not mounted. My friend Greg made that back when I was in a minivan, actually. So going back a while now. That's been along with me ever since. So cabinets underneath the sink. It does have a microwave, which is nice, I guess. I use it here because I'm plugged in. I don't usually use a microwave a lot, but I have used it off and on this summer just because it's been so hot. It doesn't heat the place up very bad. Underneath the microwave is where the battery is stored. There's only one battery in here now, and that'll be getting upgraded. So I'll talk a little bit more about that and some of my upgrade plans, but that's there for now. There's a 3-burner stove. 3-burner propane stove, which, you know, again, is nice, I guess. I've actually only used 1 burner at a time, but, you know, it's there. Range hood, which is great. So, of course, it has a light and fan, which helps suck the heat out when I'm cooking. Well, the fan helps suck the heat out. The light helps me see what I'm doing. I do have a double sink in here. Again, hardly ever use it, but, you know, I guess it's nice. And then this helps expand the counter space. I should mention too, this paper towel holder, my friend Greg made this as well. This is really awesome. It's handmade, completely custom built, and has a spring in it for tension, to keep the tension on. And he designed it just so that when you use it, it doesn't unroll while you're driving, but it has enough tension you can pull it off and tear sheets off. So really cool. Some more pot holders hanging up here that my mother made for me, I think a Christmas or two ago. And yeah, I just store, you know, pots and pans and dishes, things like that. This side's home to a coffee pot and an electric kettle and a little crock pot. So on the other side of the kitchen here is a good sized refrigerator, and above it is storage, a couple cabinets I use as a pantry. Underneath the fridge is another cabinet for storage. And then next to the fridge are a couple more cabinets. These are kind of narrow, but they're handy. Use them for pantry stuff up on the top, and some, you know, coffee and office supplies. And then, you know, just more storage down below. Around back on the other side again, it has a good sized coat closet here on this side, which is nice. I have curtains here for, you know, privacy in the bathroom in case anybody's actually over here and we need privacy. But it used to have a door, but that was removed. My son and daughter-in-law removed that. I put the curtains in because apparently it was quite a dance trying to do anything with the door. So bathroom is a pretty standard RV bathroom, I suppose. Shower, which is a real luxury for sure. I do have the hot water heater is actually needs to be replaced. That's one of the several things that needed to be done here. So for now, I have a spray shower, garden sprayer shower to take care of that. But at least I have the shower stall, so I can still do that inside. That will vent the water heater. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute. It's on my upgrade plans. Standard RV toilet, and then around on this side, I have a medicine cabinet, which is really a novelty, and a bathroom sink. And coming around to the bedroom area, basically it's just a standard corner bed like you see in RVs. I get a quilt my mother actually made for me. This is this comforter underneath Deborah gave me when I was moving into the white van to get things all color coordinated there. And another cabinet here to keep clothes in and things like that. It's nowhere near full. I have so much storage in here, nothing is full. Okay, so that's kind of the tour of the RV. I mean, it's a 21 foot, so it doesn't take too terribly long to go through it. Let's see, what didn't I mention? There's a rooftop air conditioning. It's a 13,500 BTU. And this thing's insulated pretty well. I'm not sure on the walls. The ceiling has 1.5 inches of insulation. So even when it's been above 100 degrees here, it's been in the 90s a lot, but even one day we had to hit like 106 or 108. I haven't had to turn the AC above low. On this front area, the table does drop down. You can fold out the cushions and make a good sized bed in the front. So there are a few modifications I plan to make to the trailer over the coming months. The first one I mentioned, the water heater is not working. It needs to be replaced. So I'm going to replace that, but is also I've had some trouble with the plumbing. It's the original from the trailer, and it's the polybutylene or PB tubing, which is they banned it, quit using it and banned it back in the 90s, so probably right after this thing was built, because it wasn't reliable. So that's going to get taken out, and there's not a lot of plumbing anyway, so I'm just going to replumb the whole thing, and I won't have to worry about it again. And I'll put a new water heater in at that point while I'm doing the replumbing. Second, details with electrical. It's like a lot of travel trailers and RVs. This thing's set up to run primarily on shore power, 30 amp plug-in, but there's also no 12 volt outlets at all and no USB outlets. So those are things I'm going to address. There's 100 amp hour battery under the microwave is. I'm not going to be able to fit additional batteries in that hole, so I'll have to put them in one of the storage compartments under a bench or something, most likely. But I will be putting in several batteries and running wiring for 12 volt USB. And then at the same time, I also need to put solar on the roof. So I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get up there yet. I need to do some measuring and see, but I will be setting the trailer up for off-grid usage. So that's another plus of the plumbing and the electrical. Third thing is right now I'm working at the desk here, which is working for now, but it does waste a lot of space because it makes it not very usable in the front here. And I just don't like the clutter look, even though if I try and keep things clean, stuff's out in the middle of everything. So I will be putting a desk in. Just haven't decided exactly where yet. Tentatively inclined to go with along this wall behind me. Of course, that means that bench will have to come out, and I will lose some storage space under it, but I'm using almost none of the outside storage right now anyway, so it's not a problem there. So those are some of the highlights here. I really am very pleased with this travel trailer. It's very comfortable, plenty of space. It does not feel to me like I'm in a trailer or a vehicle. It feels like I'm in a studio apartment. I can stand up straight. I have several inches of headroom above my head. I can even walk under the air conditioner without hitting that, which is nice. But yeah, it's just turned out to be very comfortable. More than enough storage space, plenty of room for my work equipment and things, and with a few modifications with the electrical and with the desk especially, it'll be really very well suited to what I need to do. And like I said, I will be setting it up to boondock with solar and everything, so I'll be able to park, pretty much anywhere. I can be out in the wilderness and still be able to work and everything. So trailers aren't for everybody. I'm definitely not trying to talk anyone into going the trailer route with these last couple videos. but it is something that works for me. I've done trailers before, once years before I was on the road full time, and then I had a cargo trailer for a while. But that was smaller, and I felt like it was too small. It was technically 6x10. That was to the outside of the wheels, so it's like inside there was actually like 5.5x10 or so. It was just a little bit too small for what I was trying to do. This one's probably a little bit bigger than I need, but it's still within the range of what I was looking for. I'd been figuring 17 to 21, maybe just over 21, but not much. So this is right within the range of what I was looking for, and just a very comfortable space. Like I said, lightweight, so it's going to be easy to tow. My son was able to tow it without difficulty with his Toyota Tacoma with a V6 in it, and it's well within specs on what the van can tow. We towed the cargo trailer with a van as well, and this isn't all that much heavier than the cargo trailer. And at the time, the van was loaded pretty heavy because Deborah was living in the van full time. So the van's a lot lighter now with all the stuff out of it and less furnishings in it. So, and this trailer is only a little bit heavier, so should be in good shape there. And like I said, I've checked all the specs on it, and it's well within capabilities there. So hopefully you enjoyed this tour and some of my thoughts on why I decided to make the switch to a travel trailer, and hopefully it is helpful to you if you're considering getting on the road, or you're on the road and you're considering changing rigs, whether larger or smaller. I don't know if I'll do a trailer forever, but for right now, it definitely seems like the best option for my needs and my preferences. And I always say there's no perfect rig for every person at every time, but there's only the best option, the best balance for an individual at any given time, meaning different people have different needs, and our needs can change and preferences can change over time. And so while the van has worked well for me for quite a while, I just wanted a little more space and comfort, and this gives me that. And because I still travel full time, I'd like to go out exploring and do things, but more and more with work and family things and everything, after being on the road for going on 6 years now, they kind of slow down a little bit, and I tend to, I find myself oftentimes parking somewhere for a bit and going out and exploring from there. So the trailer gives me that base camp thing, or home base type of a situation, and I can go out and explore with a van or whatever I buy after it, do errands, those kind of things, come back to the trailer. So it works well for me. Like I said, I hope this video is helpful to you and enjoyed the tour around. And thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll catch you in the next video.